In the rich tapestry of ancient wisdom and philosophy, the teachings of Siddhartha Gautama, known as the Buddha, stand as a profound beacon of enlightenment and inner peace. The Buddha's quest for understanding the human condition led him to a path of awakening and a commitment to share his insights with the world. Among the myriad teachings attributed to the Buddha, one theme holds particular significance in our modern lives: the reduction of negative self-talk. It's a concept that resonates with people across cultures and time as it addresses a universal human struggle, the relentless inner critic that casts doubts, fosters insecurity, and disrupts our inner peace. The Buddha's wisdom emphasizes the power of mindfulness and self-compassion as essential tools for countering negative self-talk. By acknowledging our thoughts, emotions, and self-judgment and approaching them with understanding and kindness, we can find the path to self-acceptance, inner peace, and enlightenment. In this narrative, we will unfold a captivating story set in a serene monastery, where a young monk named Kavi embarks on a journey to overcome the burdens of his own inner critic. In a remote and serene mountainous region, nestled away from the chaos of the world, there stood a tranquil monastery. This sanctuary was home to devoted monks who sought enlightenment through meditation and spiritual practice. Kavi, a young and diligent practitioner, gazed out at the lush landscape from the monastery's courtyard. His eyes sparkled with the reflection of the tranquil pond. A fellow monk, Deva, approached and remarked, "Kavi, you seem at peace with the world." Kavi nodded, but there was a subtle hint of sadness in his eyes. "I try to be, Deva, but there's a storm within me that rages on." Within the confines of the monastery, Kavi's inner critic was relentless. It constantly whispered that he was not devout enough, not good enough, and that enlightenment would forever elude him. This inner turmoil caused him profound suffering, and he withdrew from his fellow monks, unable to share the pain that gnawed at his soul. One evening, Kavi sat in the meditation hall with a pained expression. A concerned fellow monk, Sujan, approached and gently asked, "Kavi, are you all right? You've been distant lately." Kavi hesitated before admitting, "Sujan, there's a relentless voice in my head. It tells me I'm a failure, that I'm not worthy of enlightenment. I can't escape it." Sujan placed a reassuring hand on Kavi's shoulder. "You're not alone in your struggles, Kavi. We'll find a way to help you." One fateful day, a wise and venerable monk named Thero arrived at the monastery. Thero was known for his deep understanding of the teachings of Buddha and his ability to guide troubled souls towards enlightenment. Thero noticed Kavi's suffering and approached him during a quiet moment. "Kavi, may I sit with you?" he asked. Kavi nodded, and they sat in silence for a while. Thero broke the silence gently. "I sense a storm within you, my child. Would you like to share what troubles your heart?" Kavi hesitated, but then opened up. "Venerable Thero, my inner critic torments me. It says I'm not good enough." Thero smiled kindly. "The mind can be a turbulent sea, Kavi. But remember, the Buddha's wisdom teaches us to navigate these waters. We shall work together to calm the storm." Despite Thero's guidance, Kavi's journey towards self-compassion and inner peace was far from easy. He grappled with doubt and frustration, feeling as though he was failing in his efforts to silence the inner critic. As he sat in the monastery's meditation hall, his mind raced with negativity, and he grew increasingly frustrated. One evening, Kavi slammed his hand down in frustration, startling a fellow monk, Ananda, who was meditating nearby. Ananda approached and asked, "Kavi, what troubles you? I heard your frustration." Kavi sighed deeply. "Ananda, I thought I could silence the inner critic, but it just keeps getting louder. I'm failing." Ananda gently responded, "Kavi, remember that patience is a virtue on this path. Your efforts will bear fruit, even if the journey is challenging." In the midst of his inner turmoil, Kavi experienced a moment of profound self-awareness. During one evening meditation, he realized that his self-criticism was a product of his past experiences and conditioning. It did not define the truth of who he was. This revelation marked a turning point in Kavi's journey. As Kavi meditated, his face gradually shifted from one of distress to one of calm. Another monk, Pema, noticed and asked, "Kavi, you seem different. What happened?" Kavi opened his eyes and smiled. "Pema, I had an epiphany. My inner critic is just a reflection of my past, not my true self. It doesn't define me. I can choose to let it go." Pema nodded. "That's a profound realization, Kavi. May it lead you to lasting peace." Kavi's journey continued as he diligently practiced the teachings of Thoreau and the wisdom of the Buddha. His mastery over the inner critic grew, and his inner peace and self-esteem began to flourish. With each passing day, he felt a deeper sense of self-acceptance and compassion. In a conversation with a close friend and fellow monk, Jaya, Kavi shared, "Jaya, I feel a sense of calm I've never known before. The teachings of Thoreau have been invaluable." Jaya replied, "Kavi, your transformation is an inspiration to us all. We see the peace in your eyes, and it gives us hope." Kavi's journey took an unexpected turn when a powerful storm descended upon the monastery. The storm caused extensive damage to the monastery, testing the resilience and spirits of the monks. Despite once being plagued by self-doubt, Kavi now stood as a pillar of strength for his fellow monks. As the storm raged, Kavi and his fellow monks worked tirelessly to repair the monastery. Thoreau approached Kavi and said, "This storm is a test of our inner calm. You, Kavi, have become a beacon of strength. Your inner peace now guides us through this external tempest." Kavi humbly nodded. "Thank you, Thoreau. The storm outside no longer mirrors the storm within me." Years passed, and as seasons changed, Kavi's transformation became a source of inspiration for the younger monks in the monastery. Many sought his guidance on how to overcome their own inner critics and find inner peace. Kavi gladly accepted the role of mentor, passing on the wisdom he had gained from Thoreau and his personal journey. One day, a young monk named Soma approached Kavi. "Kavi, I've heard of your journey and how you conquered your inner critic. Can you help me too?" Kavi warmly smiled and said, "Of course, Soma. Let me share the teachings and wisdom that were passed down to me. Together, we'll navigate the path to inner peace." This story encapsulates Kavi's transformative journey from inner turmoil to self-compassion and enlightenment, as well as the valuable lessons he imparts to those who seek his guidance.